the budget of the state of Texas is built on a $40 a barrel oil. I don't have to tell anybody that lives in Grand Saline or in Van Zandt County that we're dangerously close to reaching that stopgap. There's no question that the Middle East people are trying to do something that would interrupt everything we do. I'd say that it's going to be another one of those challenges that we faced when we had a $20 billion shortfall. We had a $10 billion shortfall, and the commitment on the part of the members of the Texas House, and I believe the Senate, was going to be that we're going to balance a budget. We're not going to raise taxes. It's going to be a tough bill. Everybody's going to have to tighten their belt, just like every one of you do when you find out that you have expenses that exceed your income. You're sitting down at your kitchen table to write a check. You have to prioritize what you're doing. Sometimes something doesn't happen. You have to cut it out. You don't get to have a new car. You don't get to do the new house. You don't get to send your kids to private school. You don't get to send your kids to camp. It's all of those things that you have to make those hard, tough decisions. And Doc, I don't think there's any question. This is going to be a very tough session. That's why I feel like it's important that we have experienced leadership to be able to address it. You know, I didn't have a question I wanted to ask. Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Are there any state employees here? No state employees in the whole building? Are there any retired teachers? Well, if you're retired, I mean, you get a pension from the state of Texas is what I'm saying. I know you are, lady. You're a yes, man. Good. So people have budgets. I mean, they have retirement. Did you know that the retirement budget for the state of Texas had been actuarially unsound for 20 years? For 20 years, it had a $7.4 billion unfunded liability. Pretty scary. I had the privilege of working with Senator Joan Huffman. She chaired the committee in the Senate, and I chaired the committee in the House. And we were able to come to a conclusion that for the first time in 20 years, the state retirement is actuarially sound for the next 40 years. Pretty phenomenal. It kind of gets lost in the shuffle. Are there no retired teachers here?
I'm not retired, but I'm still working.
I know you're not. You're very active. I appreciate it. You know what happened with the retired teachers? We took care of your health care. We took $893 million. We were able to do it. We did it at the front end of the session because we didn't want it to be something that was going to hold up everybody and make everybody think, oh, they're never going to take care of us. They're never going to take care of us. Not only that, but the Lieutenant Governor and the Speaker created a subcommittee, or special select committee, that's going to address teachers and their challenges with not only their pay raises, which I'm very well aware you have gotten a pay raise in a long time, and we're hoping we can do something that we can be able to address those issues. That'll be a group study that we'll be working on probably after March.
What on your own education?
Yes, sir.
School choice?
Yes, sir.
Where do you stand?
What about it?
Where do you stand?
I have, well, first of all, where do I stand? What's the bill?
Well,
Tell me what it looks like.
That's what I'm saying.
Tell me what it looks like. Tell me what it looks like. I know this. I have voted for the voucher bill that was it was a pilot program. Because I'll tell you why. There's not a school in Van Zandt County or Hunt County or Hopkins County that I wouldn't send my kids or grandkids to. I think we're very fortunate. We have extraordinary schools. We really do. They're not perfect, but I think by and large they're very good. There are kids that are sought after by all of the colleges. The biggest problem is Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, El Paso. Those school districts are busted. They really are. They're too big. And I have had lines of people that came in my office wanting to know, what can you do to help us? What can you do to help us? In Van Zandt County, it's not a big deal because it's open enrollment. Anybody here can go enroll wherever they want to. It's not a big deal for us. So that's not an issue for me. I don't worry about it. It would depend on if we can do something to address those problems in those big cities. I'd like to split them up and make 4 or 5 school districts where those big school districts are, because they're not successful. There's nobody in this room wants to send their kids to a school in Dallas right now.
That's true, but on the voucher system, are you for sending or having that voucher to go to private?
Any money that the state of Texas puts out needs to have accountability. That's always been my position from the first time I ever listened to
Okay,
that issue.
that's a political statement.
It's
What-
not
what-
only a
what
political
I'm saying,
statement,
you
it's
didn't
my
answer
heart.
my question.
I believe that. I don't think the state of Texas should be giving money for any issue that we don't hold accountability.
Okay.
And surely, I understood that the Texas Rangers and some of the state agencies were working with you too. And I think that's.
No, I understand what you're saying. Those private schools need to be held accountable.
Sure.
Somehow, some fashion.
Most of them don't want any money because they want to continue to be able to have their religious freedoms. And if state money goes to them, they're not going to be able to have those same freedoms that they have.
Well, what I'm saying, if you look at all the private schools, especially in Tyler, anybody looks at Tyler, knows where the education is dealt with in Tyler, really.
Right.
Those people are spending an exorbitant amount of money.
Yes.
I've got a daughter, a
Yes.
single parent,
Yeah.
that's sending her kid to TK Gorman, and it's costing her $600 a month. Yeah, she's still paying school taxes down there in Chandler, Texas, and all that. Why can't she have her money to put her kid where she wants to if those schools are that quality?
Okay. Let me be smart. Where did she go to school?
Where did she go to school? Well, she did private school, we homeschooled her last year. And she went to,
By and large, a lot of people that don't want to pay property taxes believe that all our kids are gone and I shouldn't have to support public education anymore, what have you. I don't think we're in any position